Hey there, welcome back to that 70s Card Show. This is John Keating. We're on Basement Tapes, number 39. Still 1952. We're nearly into the double digits of this little run of shows. And still not out of the 1952 era. Topps, of course, making a huge splash in the baseball end of things. But Topps was not only doing baseball, Topps was doing other stuff. So, talking about the 1952 Topps Look apostrophe N C S E E. So that's the 1952 Topps Look N C. I've got 6 of these bad boys. Joan of Arc is in there, Henry VIII, Henry Hudson, and of course George Herman Ruth. One of the people I have in my collection of 6 1952 Look and See cards. 135 cards total. I didn't mean to say what I just said. Average value of $43.33, $6,120. No description available from Beckett OPG, and we're probably going to have some difficult times getting information out of TCDB. This is vintage non-sports is an emerging market. Some would consider if this were a equity or a investment vehicle. I do not invest in cards. I buy cards. I enjoy cards. But anyway, this is an emerging market, and it might be good for a company like Beckett, OPG, to get on board here as soon as possible before someone else does. $3,500 to $6,000 will set you back for a full set of these. Most valuable card in this stash is, of course, Babe Ruth card number 15. There's a Rembrandt and an Adlai Stevenson, who was a pretty big deal in 1952. Amelia Earhart, Jules Verne, Lester B. Pearson, Daniel Defoe, John D. Rockefeller, etc. We'll get into that over here at TCDB. 135 cards, 2 1/16 inch by 2 15/16 of an inch. Let's see here. Not a lot to go on here. There's some packaging here. Hobby cards, of course. Look and See wrapper. I think some of that was posted in the 52 Topps baseball. But you can see the Look and See Spy Hidden Pictures there. Anyway, let's get to some trivia. 1952 Topps Look and See consists of 135 cards measuring 2.5 by 3 1/8 inch. So there's some discrepancies there. The cards are broke up into presidents 1 through 9, famous Americans 10 through 31, military leaders 32 through 42, and famous women. The remaining cards are not grouped. I disagree with this. Let me look at what we have going on here, because maybe that is the case. Anyway, yeah. So let's look through this. We do have the president. Franklin D. Roosevelt looks like the Penguin from the Batman shows in the mid to late 60s. Woodrow Wilson, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Harry Truman, Theodore Roosevelt, Ulysses S. Grant, Andrew Jackson, the first Irish president, and a bit of a knob, if you ask me, George Washington. And then we get into General G.W. Goethals. We can read about him if you want. Or we can keep going to Nathan Hale, who was a patriot, Francis Scott Key, Wilbur Wright, Jefferson Davis, and there's the Babe Ruth. Let's look at the Babe Ruth card number 15. Babe Ruth, it says number 8 of 22 famous Americans, even though it says card number 15 on the back. Because his family was so poor, his mother sent him to an industrial school to learn a trade. And George Herman Babe Ruth learned to be a fine tailor. He was also the best baseball player in the school. One of his teachers got him his first job as a professional ball player with the Baltimore Orioles. From this team, he went on to play for the Red Sox of Boston. In 1920, he was sold to the New York Yankees and became the home run king. Look and see what was Babe Ruth's record for most home runs in one year. So that's the Babe Ruth card. He's followed by Paul Revere, Patrick Henry, Washington Irving, Alexander Hamilton, Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, Daniel Webster, James L. McNeill Whistler, Phineas T. Barnum, George Eastman, George Washington Carver, Luther Burbank, Stephen Foster, Mark Twain, Charles Lindbergh. There's some famous Americans in here. Henry Ford, General Douglas MacArthur, Oliver H. Perry, General Robert E. Lee, General Matthew Ridgway, General Claire Chennault, George A. Custer, Stephen Decatur, George S. Patton, Stonewall Jackson. We're almost there, folks. Dwight D. Eisenhower, John Paul Jones, Eleanor Roosevelt, Cleopatra, Amelia Earhart, Annie Oakley, Robert Peary, Ferdinand Magellan, Ponce de Leon, Richard Byrd. These are explorers, these folks. Christopher Columbus, Balboa, Kit Carson, Buffalo Bill Cody, Daniel Boone, Geronimo, Jesse James, Sitting Bull, Cochise, William Wild Bill Hickok, sorry. Didn't mean to formalize your name there, sir. Sam Houston, Bat Masterson, Billy the Kid, Winston Churchill, Mahatma Gandhi, William Shakespeare, Napoleon Bonaparte, Sir Isaac Newton, Guglielmo Marconi, Samuel B.F. Morse. His initials apparently reversed on the front of the card. It should be Samuel F.B. Morse. Thomas Alva Edison, Cyrus McCormick, Robert Fulton, Alexander Graham Bell, Elias Howe, Louis Pasteur, William Penn, found in Pennsylvania, Thomas Paine, Edgar Allan Poe, Will Rogers, Sir Walter Raleigh, Rembrandt, Clara Barton, Julius Caesar, Chiang Kai-shek, Benvenuto Cellini, Marie Curie, Roald Amundsen, Hans Christian Andersen, Benedict Arnold. Wow, what a cast of characters this is. Enrico Caruso, Louis de Gour, Admiral George Dewey, Sir Francis Drake, Alfred E. Smith, Tecumseh, Jules Verne, Adlai Stevenson, Lester B. Pearson, Lord William Beaverbrook. This is fun. Daniel Defoe, Anne of Cleves, Duke of Windsor, Queen Elizabeth II, Leonardo da Vinci, Machiavelli, George C. Marshall, Michelangelo, Admiral Horatio Nelson, Nero, Florence Nightingale, John D. Rockefeller, Sir Walter Scott, Pierce Beese Shelley, Shelley. That's the only one I've had a difficult time with here. John Philip Sousa, Robert Louis Stevenson, Arturo Toscanini, Amerigo Vespucci, H.G. Wells, Wendell Willkie, Emile Zola, Captain William Kidd, Sir Henry Morgan, Charles Darwin, Charles Dickens, Leif Erikson, Galileo, Genghis Khan, Johannes Gutenberg, Victor Herbert, Henry Hudson, Henry VIII, Joan of Arc, Lafayette, Dolly Madison, and that's it. A lot of fun stuff in there. There are some good people, some bad people, some people that we are still discovering whether they're good or bad. A couple ladies in there. Nothing wrong with the ladies. And obviously, Dolly Madison's name is misspelled according to this. TCDB. What else we have here? There's not a lot else going on in this here setup. 1952 Topps Look and See R714-16. 1940, I'm sorry, post 1948 bubblegum cards, according to the American Card Catalog. So, yeah, enjoy some of those. Wonderful historical treat for yourself and your friends. Trade them, keep them. Just do something with them, please.